I guess I have a scab up here. Um, I haven't looked at myself in the mirror yet this morning, but I imagine that happened this morning. Um, I was gonna do a live earlier today, but um, I had nerve testing done. I don't have the results back yet of what they're gonna find out about my left leg, but I this much I can tell you. When he was sticking his little electrodes or whatever they're called into my legs, because you have to do both legs for comparison. I've lost feeling on the left side. I was like, ow, 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 when he's doing it on the right. And when he did it on the left, I could barely feel it. Could barely feel it. Pretty much the only thing I can feel in the left leg is the constant pain of this one major nerve that runs up and down my leg, and how that is sore and causing me problems. I also think I've deduced why I keep falling. It seems as though this swollen part of it's slightly swollen, it's not like hugely swollen, um, part of my left inner thigh that's affected by this nerve thing. It If I sit in such a way that it gets impacted, or if I go to the bathroom, because the toilet seat is like the perfect shape to affect this, it will, I guess, cut off circulation or slow stuff down or something. I have to wait until my next um, pain management doctor appointment for, I guess, for him to interpret the results and tell me what he thinks. But that is my basic assessment, is that if I'm sitting down and I'm putting pressure on this one spot unknowingly or for whatever reason, like for instance, the night that I had to go to the ER, I had been doing a live stream right beforehand. And it was immediately after I went to use the restroom that I lost the ability of using my leg. And it doesn't always happen like step 1, it could be step 20, it could be, but it's going to be somewhere in there. And it basically feels a lot like if you've sat funny, you've cut off the circulation to a limb, and generally what most people would feel is the blood rushing back into that limb. I don't feel it. I don't feel that happen. So I don't know that the limb needs more time, that it's not a usable limb at the time that I'm trying to actually step on it, right? So yeah, I'd done a live stream, so I'd probably been sitting on that spot for a while. And then I immediately went to the bathroom, so I was sitting on it again for a while. Hello, Chester. And when I got up, it was a dead leg. And I had to have paramedics haul me out because I couldn't use it again for about 6 hours. And that particular week was pretty rough. I had 4 falls resulting from things like that. I took 4 falls that week. But I'm a bit on the upswing. I'm doing better. And my pain goes up and down, and it seems to kind of mirror my menstrual cycle. So there are times every month where the pain is worse, the mobility is worse, etc. And there are times when I feel a little bit more confident to walk without the walker and maybe try the stairs more than just once in a day. I do try and do it at least once a day. But when it gets really bad, I ask my mom to at least watch me walk the stairs so that if something happens, she can call 911 or something, right? So, anyway, I have been watching all of this Chantel nonsense. And I know that she absolutely loves the coverage she's getting. And she loves creating faux problems between men because it creates the image that people are fighting over her. Come on, Chantel. Um, I mean, I can't delve into your relationships. I don't know what's going on there, but I highly doubt either of those relationships were truly based on romance. Oh, I got a spider coming down. I got a spider coming down. What are you doing? Are you building a web right now, right in front of me? Okay. But anyway, her content, since she has kind of picked up the weed deliveries a little more frequently, and and she's getting really bold about it. Like, she apparently went downstairs, kept the live going, just set them looking like at the ceiling or something while she met with a stranger. Sounds like a weed delivery to me, you know? Um, I don't know what to say. Like, she says that I don't do that. I'm a good Muslim girl now. All right. I don't do that. It makes me too loopy. Well, um, the content has been bad. Hey, Eve. How's it going? I just, I'm not interested in covering, um, this fake, uh, have you been watching it, Eve? The fake romance be that she's trying to get the ex-lover and the current lover to fight online. Well, this happened last night apparently. I think she starts like live streaming right around the time I'm going to bed. And so I didn't see anybody say that she went live or start covering it, or you know, I I, I went to bed. I knew that I had a doctor's appointment today and I needed to handle that. So I don't know what to say about that. But I'm not, I am hearing a lot of what I've been saying on my streams come up in the clips of what has been brought to my attention, because obviously I haven't watched a full 6 hours that she live streamed, right? But it seems like every time I mention, let me turn off the sound here for the alarm system. Every time I mention a certain kind of food or cuisine, she wants to eat it like within one day. So on my live, I think it was Monday or maybe Sunday, I said something about eating eggs and bacon. She started talking about it immediately the next day. And she ordered a poached egg and corned beef hash on this latest live. When I've sang the Carpenters and Styx at karaoke, she then goes on live and says she really loves 70s and 80s rock. Really? Can you name some bands, please? Who do you like that is 70s and 80s rock? I think, all she's going to come up with is like Poison and Def Leppard or something. Right? Um, I've just noticed like a lot of stuff come up about it, and she kind of, I guess, defended Kalari as well, saying that she also makes exercise equipment squeak, so that's not something that she could really give Kalari a hard time for. Understandable, because first of all, if you're using your equipment a lot, it probably will ultimately need some maintenance, but it's going to get some wear and tear, right? Um, it would be interesting to see if Shakara would take a look at one of her fit bongs and fit bangs, fit bongs, whatever they're called, and analyze her form. It looks like she's using probably 2-pound weights. I use 5-pound weights when I do my biceps, but I have never flung them around like that. You see if I can put this far enough back. You would stand up. Sorry. It's every day is a braless day for me, you guys. You would hold in fact, hang on. Let me get it. Okay, so this is a 5-pound weight. I think she's only using 2-pound weights. But what she's doing when she's on her exercise bike is kind of flinging her arm around like this and like that, and then taking the 2-pound weights and doing this, when you're supposed to have a controlled, you can either do this, or in my case, I do this because I have in the past had wrist issues. But the other thing she doesn't do is she's not counting her reps. So I've noticed when I've watched her streams before that she's exercising her right side more than her left. Because obviously she feels stronger on that side of her body. Fine. It's just not a real workout. And if you're not using appropriate form for weightlifting, even if it's only 2 pounders, you could injure yourself doing that, you know? So I'd like to see Kalari take a look, Shakara take a look at that. I guess I'm going to have to look at somebody put something down that's being flagged as inappropriate. I'll look at it later because I don't know how to approve it if you've put something down that's potentially inappropriate. But one of the things that Shakara pointed out a long time ago on one of her live streams is that you have to be very careful about giving fitness advice online because you don't want to be perceived. And so let me say this right now. I am not a trainer. I'm not a fitness coach. I cannot advise you. All I'm telling you is that I've been physically fit since I was quite little. And I know that you have to have the appropriate form when you're dealing with weights. And just stretching and anything, really. You have to have your back straight. You know, you have to make sure you're not going all the way down and you're putting, some emphasis on the muscle. But like I said, go to her channel, not mine, for fitness advice. And one of the things that she said is that if you're going to give fitness advice, you have to be like a fitness coach. You've got to be either a doctor or a fitness coach or somebody who's qualified to do it. And you need to be insured. Because if somebody takes your advice and it fucks them up, they can come back to you and sue you, right? So that's why I'm just giving you some general information of form. But I'd like to see Shakara take up the subject because it is really haphazard to see weights get flung around like that. It looks pretty dangerous, quite frankly. So, I think Shakara, speaking of, has been covering glitter and lasers a lot lately. I haven't really been following that story too much. I know that she's been trying to do a lot of surgeries, right? She's been trying to do a lot of liposuction and stuff. I was really surprised that anybody would take her for that because back when I was a hairdresser, we had a large obese manicurist who went through an entire process of losing weight. She was working with a doctor. She was first put on a very extreme diet of only some sort of protein shake that she could have every day. She was completely taken off food and retrained her brain. And then once she got within, I think it was 40 pounds of her goal weight, that was when she was finally approved for plastic surgery. Tears? But we all went in to support her. There was a PowerPoint done in the salon, and we saw all kinds of pictures of severely obese people that had lost a lot of weight and were going to need reconstructive surgery, have the skin removed on their arms and their bellies and their legs and their knees and all of these areas. Like, all the pictures were people basically wearing like a bra and underwear. And I think their heads were cut off out of the picture. Now, medicine probably has changed quite a bit since that would have been 95, I think. That was in 95. But I don't think that they're going to. I would be very surprised if they actually are performing liposuctions on severely obese people like that, unless it has something very specific to do with this what do they call it, lipedema, and what's the other one, the where it's like the hardening of the fat and the only way you can get it out is through surgery. So maybe if it's like very specifically targeted that way, but I'd be interested to see what Milk Tea says about that, what Sansa Cook says about that, what Shakara says about that. Um, because it just doesn't feel right that a doctor should be performing multiple liposuction surgeries on her. And by the way, she doesn't, as far as I can tell, she doesn't look any thinner. But maybe she has swelling from the surgeries. That's possible. Anywho, I don't have the results back from my nerve testing yet. All I can tell you is that my right leg can feel more than my left leg can. I've lost feeling in my left leg, and that's probably part of the reason why it keeps collapsing under me. I still have I still have scars on my wrist from the big fall I took in the living room. You know, both of my feet are still sprained from the big fall I took a few weeks before that. I mean, okay, goodbye, Chester. Thanks for stopping by. Um, so I've always thought, maybe I would do some plastic surgery at some point because I had a C-section, so I have that scar, and the scar kind of puts a dent in your belly where any weight that you do accumulate kind of pockets over it. And apparently they can fix that. And I don't think I'm too thin, and I don't think I'm too fat because I'm within my healthy body weight. But they're very expensive because they're not covered by surgery, by healthcare. It's not covered, at least in America. It's not America. It's not covered. So I don't know if it's. I mean, I'm already 50. Like, what's the point now? What's the point? 6 hours, girl. I bet she crashed so hard because she's been getting high, like, allegedly, for like 3 days in a row and just really off the charts high. I wonder if she realizes she could actually cut her gummies in half. Might be better for her if she cut her gummies in half, you guys. Um, so she probably crashed pretty hard. And who knows when we'll see her next. But I don't know. I've I've not done THC enough to know if it works like Adderall or Concerta or anything like that, where you would have a big crash after taking it. But I know that people get sleepy and they want to go to sleep. But who knows if it has some sort of emotional distress. All I know is the last time she went to Canada, she had a total meltdown and wrote a bunch of stuff on her community posts about how she was getting high every day and she was having a psychological breakdown. Then she deleted the posts. And that was why she needed to go back to Kuwait. She says nothing is different in Thailand than it is in Kuwait. But obviously it is, because you have access to something that you don't have access to in Kuwait, unless you're not being honest with us. And maybe you do have access to it in Kuwait through illicit means. Who knows? I could not tell you. But anywho, that is today's half-hour touch base. I'm really looking forward to the results of my testing. And I'd love it if Shakara would take a look at the form. The form. Because it's really important to have proper form. Okay. Well, you all take care. Thanks for those of you who jumped in and left some comments. And for those of you who just watched, and make sure that you like the video on your way out, and that if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to my channel. Help a sister out. All right, take care, everybody. Happy Taco Tuesday.